Okay, so what's going on here? This is a big deal.
Yeah, this morning,
a big deal for you.
It is a very big deal. It's a big day and a big milestone. Reverses the course of time.
It does.
We've wanted to be a one-stop shop for all your financial services needs, and one of the holes we've had for the last 2 years was in cryptocurrency, the ability to buy, sell, and hold crypto. We were not allowed to do that as a bank. It was not permissible. But in March of this year, the OCC came out with an interpretive letter that it's now permissible for banks like SoFi to offer cryptocurrencies. So this morning we're launching as the only national bank, the first and only national bank, the opportunity to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana.
So I was going to ask, are we just talking about 3 for now?
We'll expand well beyond 3. It'll be a pretty broad assortment. We try to differentiate on being fast, having broad selection, great prices, ease of use. So we'll try to give members, SoFi members, as much selection as they would like.
And what's the difference between going through you and going through Coinbase or going through Robinhood or somebody else?
Yeah, there's a couple of really big differences. First, we're a nationally chartered bank, which means we have the infrastructure, the processes, the financial conditions that provides the safeguards that a consumer would expect from a bank, which is going to allow us to scale responsibly. The second thing is because we are a one-stop shop, you can do all your banking, checking, and savings at SoFi, your borrowing, and your investing, and now crypto. And one of the unique things about that is when you come to SoFi and fund your crypto investments, you'll fund them in a SoFi checking and savings account. That checking and savings account's deposits earn interest.
Say that again. You're going to fund it with crypto?
You're going to fund
your checking account.
You're going to fund your checking account with cash.
Okay.
And then when you buy Bitcoin or Solana or Ethereum, the money will come straight out of your checking and savings account. So when you're not putting cash to work, it's not sitting in an account that earns no interest, and it's not sitting in an account that's not insured. So the money will sit in an FDIC-insured account. Up to $2 million is what we offer. And when you buy, it will instantly withdraw from that account.
What's up, guys? So we lost Cedric. It's just me for right now, but we're waiting for Cedric to come back. In the meantime, what I was going to ask Cedric was, so SoFi has become the first nationally chartered bank to enable Bitcoin and crypto trading. So the question tonight is, how big of a deal is that, right? And I think it's a pretty big deal. I mean, I kind of hate it. Cedric and I were talking in the pre-show a little bit about this idea of spot thing, right? Like all Bitcoin should be spot Bitcoin. But I don't want to be a total doomer. Like, it's pretty cool that this is happening. I didn't even know the details about it. I was listening to the clip along with you guys. And so it sounds like if you have a SoFi account, you can just buy Bitcoin. Hey, Cedric, you're back.
Hey. Yeah, I'm on my laptop mic and my laptop camera, but can you hear me?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, cool.
So Cedric made it back, and I was just trying to decide how I felt about SoFi, Cedric, but I think you're better qualified for this one. So SoFi has become the first nationally chartered bank to enable Bitcoin and crypto trading. How big of do you think that's a big deal? What do you think about that?
I think it is a big deal. I think this goes along the lines with the ETF. I think that people are, for hundreds of years, we have used trusted third parties to manage a lot of our wealth. You can look at an institution like Fidelity. So I do think that this is crossing the line and the chasm of being more accepted. But if you notice, I was offline for the clip, but like they're talking about trading, and they're talking about more than just Bitcoin. So I think that this is still about narrative building and getting people comfortable with stable coins. They want you to, put your, you talk a lot about, having your checking account, and that's going to be in stable coins. And you could buy, Bitcoin, crypto, and Ethereum. This is getting people comfortable with blockchain. So I still think that this is more about that than actual Bitcoin. But
Absolutely.
I think in terms of adoption, in terms of, institutions people trust amount of their wealth, and I think that also for collateral, so being able to borrow against your Bitcoin. I think it'd be better if you can have it in custody or self-custody and borrow against it, but I think the first phase is having it in a trusted third party and using it as collateral there.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think that that's an awesome trend we're seeing. And also, one thing that was interesting in the clip was that he talked about like putting your money to work so that it's not just sitting in an account. And I think what he said something about like instead of having your cash sit there, you would put it in the crypto. And so I think you're right that they're really like warming people up to the idea of not only moving in and out of crypto, but
Yeah.
like trading and having their money work for them, which is really for
Right.
the bank.
Right. And Bitcoin in self-custody is also implying it's not working for you.
Right.
It's, it's so, yeah. And I think this is part of making it sound like gold, like a pet rock, a digital pet rock. All right, let's go on to the next one here. All right, Peter Schiff is back in the news. Peter Schiff insists as usual that Bitcoin's latest rally is an artificial bubble propped up by political and Wall Street support. Is Bitcoin lagging gold, or is it the other way around?
You know what, Peter Schiff? It was nice to meet you in Vegas. You were at our event, right? Like, I don't.
Probably paid to be there.
You think they paid him to be
I do
there?
think that's my guess. Yes, I think he might have even said something to the effect. I think they paid him to be there.
Well, nobody is, all right. I mean, he's still there, right? So he thinks it's worth his time. I mean, they couldn't have paid him that much if
He had a booth there. He's selling his gold there.
Right. And so, I mean, what do we have? We have gold is like 25, 26 trillion market cap still. And Bitcoin is only 2 or 2.5. But I think ultimately that ends up flipped over what time frame. Is it a couple of years? Realistically, it's probably 5 to 10 years. Maybe it takes a little bit longer. Maybe it's more like 20. But I think in the future, we'll be sitting here and those will be completely flipped. And people will say, why would I hold gold? And the reality, which is maybe a little harsh, but a lot of people that are in gold, they're going to pass away one day. The people that are still holding in gold and really convicted about it. And as those people pass away, I mean, young people are not holding gold. There's no way that market is going to maintain itself.
Do you think that gold running this much is an indication that Bitcoin could still have a major rally here?
I do. I think, we've been in this crab market and I don't really think we've had I don't think there's been a bull market at all, to be honest. Like, yeah, we're getting these little new all-time highs, but I'm waiting for the volatility to come back. Give me a big run up and then a huge crash.
Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, let's move on to the next one here.
It's that what is a security is we're trying to fit something into a wrong framework.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what the crypto guys would say.
Because anybody can buy a house. If you say it's a property, everybody should be able to buy it.
Yeah, but Raul, if I created my own Mikey coin and then I pumped it on Twitter and I dumped it on the retail population after I gave a bunch to a celebrity who then told the world it was great, it's illegal and it's unethical. The truth of the matter is if you have a centralized group of people creating a token, which is a security, giving it to themselves and then selling it on the market and representing it as a decentralized property, you're crossing an ethical line and you're also crossing a legal line, and you can't avoid the ethical responsibility and the legal responsibility simply by saying.
Such a great clip. I'm so glad this is resurfacing. All it's missing is a deep sigh. But with this clip resurfacing, with Saylor talking about like the bad ethics in crypto, do you think it's resonating because he's showing that like where the line needs to be drawn and that there is a voice of reason amid like all this questionable crypto politics and vested interest? Or is it just kind of muddying the waters?
Well, I mean, I think there was a lot of great old Saylor clips and euphemisms and sort of guidelines that make a lot of sense. And I think what he's saying there is spot on. What I think about is how different is MicroStrategy from what he's describing there. Right. And so, and I think that it is legally different. I think he is also letting you know up front that it is a security that he's building.
Yeah.
But I do think that I think that part of the fervor for the products have been retail. And I think part of the fervor for the products I think the future of the product is to sell to people who don't get Bitcoin, who have money trapped in different parts of the financial ecosystem. But I think part of the fervor to get to where we have been has been support from retail and from people who wanted access really to the properties of spot Bitcoin. And then also got maybe accustomed to, the rate of return on Bitcoin or the CAGR and are looking to outpace it. Maybe because, they feel, okay, I have 10% in Bitcoin. What if I put another 10% of my wealth in? So I have savings and I have investment. And maybe they put another 10% into this other thing that they consider speculation. But I think it's...
So the difference between saving, investing, and then gambling.
Yeah, right. And I think you can do all of that on Bitcoin, right? And I think,
Really?
I think, yeah, I think if you're 100% Bitcoin, I don't think you're just saving in Bitcoin. I think you're investing and speculating a bit on Bitcoin. Right? And I think
some of these like MicroStrategy and some of these other sort of fiat products.
No, I'm saying if you personally, if you have 5 or 10% of your net worth in Bitcoin, you're saving in Bitcoin.
Right.
You're DCAing in Bitcoin. If you have 10 to 50% in Bitcoin, I think you're investing in Bitcoin. If you have 51 to 99 or 100% in Bitcoin, I think you're you could say you're living on Bitcoin standard, but I think you're also speculating on Bitcoin. I think some people
a little bit of a gamble, you think.
Right. Or trying to speed up the clock or retire early. Right. So it's not so much a savings plan as much as, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, concentrating your worth and your wealth early on to build wealth, I think is a good way to go about it. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it or, trying to say it pejoratively, but I think you can use Bitcoin in a different way. But I think you could then say, okay, how much do I have in Bitcoin? How much do I have in Bitcoin treasury companies? How much do I have in AI? Some of that is not just savings, that's speculating or investing.
Sure.
And so, does living on a Bitcoin standard mean you're 100% in Bitcoin? Maybe you have a company that has fiat cash flows or fiat equity stakes. It's hard to be 100% Bitcoin.
Yeah, there's all sorts of different ways that you can hold Bitcoin and diversify.
Right. And you can also lever up. Can you be 150% Bitcoin? So, but I think in the beginning, I think that these treasury companies have been getting a lot of their capital contributions from Bitcoiners and not from non-Bitcoiners.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think I wonder how much of the stretch marketplace is Bitcoiners storing cash-like instruments and using stretch instead of a money market versus pension funds.
I don't know anybody with a pension fund.
No, but I'm saying any pension funds, are they investing in stretch?
I see.
Insurance companies invest, or is it strictly like a lot of people who are already buying spot Bitcoin and are Bitcoiners and are putting a little extra in these products instead of more Bitcoin or AI stocks or money market funds? Or is it actually attracting capital from trapped capital from non-Bitcoiners?
Yeah.
Right,
I think it's probably both, but
we'll see.
So you've heard Bitcoin is the new gold rush by now. As world leaders on all sides have endorsed it as the future of money, and now you're looking to get started, we'll show you how. It's actually easier than you think. First, go to your nearest Byte Federal ATM and turn your cash to coin. Byte Federal has over 1,200 locations around the country with the highest daily limits. Go to our website, bytefederal.com, to find the nearest ATM to you. Log in to any wallet, then create an account, deposit your US cash, and instantly convert it to Bitcoin. That's it. We are the only US manufacturer and operator in the Bitcoin ATM industry, and our US-based live customer service is second to none. Go on, give it a whirl, and don't get left behind. Click the link below.